Today, I finally have time to put this pocket door in. So we've been living this way for several months now with a bathroom all in shambles because I had to tear off this drywall, make room for the pocket door, and we're going to be expanding here this vanity into a 2-sink vanity, so I had to make room this way, plus make room here for the pocket door. So we're now finally at the point where I can put the pocket door frame up the header, and this is the new door we just got at Home Depot. So this will have to be painted, but I'm going to install the header and get the door set up and ready to hang so we can at least have some privacy when we're in the bathroom here. And then we will paint that another day, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how much time we have to get done today, but I have a Johnson hardware pocket door kit and we have to go customize some of that to get it to actually fit between my frame here. Here is the Johnson hardware pocket door kit. So this kit actually is, I bought wider than my door frame because it was cheaper, go figure. The exact size that I needed was like $50 more. I have no idea why, but I bought the longer one and it has markings here of how you can cut it down and customize the size yourself. So that's what I'm about to do now. But this kit comes with your header pre-built with your supports and everything, and then your studs, metal studs here for either side, and of hardware and instructions. So we're going to take this outside, cut that down so that we can get that installed. All right, I'm all set up outside here with my makeshift bench, and this is the header here. We got to cut down. The company already pre-marks your custom sizes, so we have a 28-inch door we're putting in. This is feet and inches, so it marks 2 foot even, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 4 inches, 2 foot 6, and so on. So mine is 2 foot 4 inches, 20 inches total. So I'm going to be cutting this side right there and this side right here, removing this, and then we will come down here, remove this cap, and we'll end up cutting this whole end down as well. And for these cuts, I am using a Sawzall. There's a metal blade, fine tooth, which will cut through wood. So I'm just going to use that same blade for everything, cutting through this thin wood, and then that's what we'll use to cut through this metal track too eventually. All right, these sides are cut to length. Now we're going to come down here and remove this end bracket. Done. All right, we flip her over, and there are markings at this end as well to mark exactly what size you want. So we are cutting it at the 2-4 mark. So we're going to cut this wood here first, and then we'll have to cut this track down after that. All right, that cut's made, and I flipped it back over because there is one screw right here that we had to remove. So now that piece of wood comes off right there. I measured back from here 1 3/8, and there's your top marking. So we're going to line up our Sawzall, cut through the track, and be very careful not to cut into that wood. So we're going to cut down here, stop shy that wood, and remove this end of the track. All right, that track is cut. Now this end piece goes right back onto there like that, and put the screw back in here into that wood. And now that is cut to the size of the door we are using. We're all finished out here, so we're going to put these tools away and bring this header back inside and get that put in the frame of the doorway. All right, we're back in the bathroom. The next step to install the header is to measure up on these side frames here, and in the center you mark a spot and put a fastener to be able to hook the header into place. There are different measurements to use based on the type of flooring you have your pocket door running over. Right now the door is going to be running over carpet for us, but I probably will be replacing that with hard flooring, and it's going to be thinner. So the basic measurement is, it's an 80-inch door, so it's 80 inches up plus whatever gap you want from your floor. So off of this carpet here, I'm going to measure up 80 1/4 because I only want a 1/4 inch gap. So when we go to replace this flooring with hard flooring that's thinner, it's only going to increase the gap by 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So we're not going to have greater than a 3/4 inch gap. So I'm going to measure up from the carpeting, the top of the carpeting, up here 80 1/4. So I only have a 1/4 inch gap underneath of the door when it's sliding back and forth. All right, we got our fasteners on each side, and the next thing you do is take your header piece here and hook that in like so. I already hooked in the other end, but that is what it's supposed to look like. So your brackets are going to slide right on to your fasteners that you should put in the side frames. And then you want to double check level for your header, and that is good to go. It does suggest using nails in the instructions as that fastener though, but I like using screws that way. In case I do mess up a little bit, I can just remove it easily and not have to bang around or pry on any of the new framework here. But I use screws, but they're in the right position. It is level, so we're good to go, and tighten them down. All right, scratch that. The wooden pieces here go over the header of the open end, and just the exposed metal bracket is what goes inside the wall. And the next thing we're going to need to do is grab our bag of parts, pull out these two brackets here, grab one of them, and we need two side pieces. You want your side pieces facing the same direction, so the ends with holes in them are the top of the side pieces, so both of them at one end, and then we're going to be putting mounting the side pieces onto this bracket at the other ends. This is the bracket there underneath, and you just put these side pieces here on top of that floor bracket. There's the other one next to it, so you can see where they fit on, and that is what makes your outside frame, or the frame of your pocket for your door to travel through. And next is you want to secure the side studs to the top of the header here, so you just put a screw into whichever holes line up the best with that wooden piece across there. So we're going to put a couple screws in. All right, I got to be creative with lining up these side studs here, because the side frames, I don't have a straight edge long enough to span that. So what I did was this threshold here, this line lines up with that edge, and I do have an old piece of floorboard here which is straight, and I aligned that with that edge there to the other side there to know where to secure that. So now we just have to make sure level and level. So now we're going to drive some fasteners right in there into the subfloor, and that will support these sides down at the bottom, and then the top fasteners are in, if you can see up there. All right, this piece is secured down below, and the top edge of this drywall was all chewed up already, so I just cut a little bit more back to access this side here. So I've got this side fastened. All right, the second frame set we're going to put in here is directly centered in the rest of the space here, this opening. So that's exactly 26. So our center for this frame will be 13 inches. So I already marked that here. So that is going to be lined up here with the center of that side stud. And then I marked the top here. So that will be the center of the side here. So that'll be exactly centered right there between this stud and that side frame there. All right, that center one is mounted all the way up, and I'll show you a little trick I did. It's on the outside wall here where I did not remove the drywall. I just measured over from this stud here and marked where the holes were for that stud on the inside. I just cut a little hole. So I'm gonna have repairs to do on this wall anyway. I've got a lot of stuff that I had hung on this wall, plus the old outlet, so there's some repair and finish to do anyway. So one extra little hole isn't going to matter much, so that allowed me to get in there and put those screws in, so that stud is mounted as well. All right, I'm now working on the top edge of the door. So these are the door plates to be able to hook those onto the wheels in the header of the frame, and these get 2 3/4 from each edge. You just line that mark up there and center these, and there's 2 of them. That one goes there, and then you'll be able to hook the door up onto the rollers. All right, these are mounted. Then we're gonna go hang the door and see what it looks like. right, got the door clipped in. And basically, it's hard to see up there, but the plates at the top of the door line up with studs that hang down from the glides. And so you just line them up, put the door up into place, slide it over, and then there's little locking tabs that lock the door into place. One issue I see is, even though I measured and allowed for the space, it does rub on the carpet right now. So it's not that big of a deal. It does slide freely, and once it's away from the carpet, it's very smooth. But what I'm going to do then is cut this back, because I am going to be redoing the flooring in the bathroom here. So I will just cut this back and put the transition. I'm going to be replacing the transition too. I'll put the transition directly under the line of the door, and it'll be carpet right out to the outside edge. So the bathroom flooring will extend out to the outside edge of this door here, and the transition will begin. So the door will basically be traveling over the transition, and it'll give it that little bit of clearance it needs. This is a slow close and slow open. So once you get to a certain point, it finishes opening or closing for you, so you don't have slamming. Right there, slow open. At that point, it does a slow close. So overall, I'm happy with the way that it looks and the way that it functions. I'm just going to, like I said, cut that carpet back and move that transition out to the outside edge of that door and extend my bathroom floor right under that door, so it'll give it that little bit of clearance that I want. So that's going to wrap up this video. Installation of the pocket door is complete. I obviously am going to be doing the finish work here of the framing of the door and things like that. I'm going to put hardware on. I just wanted to show this Johnson Hardware pocket door assembly and how that's installed in this video, because I thought it was pretty simple, pretty neat. There are some videos that I looked at to help guide me along the way to double check things. So I'll link those down below to give them credit as well, because without other information on the internet, I wouldn't have been successful doing this myself. The instructions that come with this kit are not the best. There's very minimal pictures. It's basically just words describing, and I'm a hands-on visual person, so I did look up on YouTube some examples of other people doing this, and I just kind of put those videos together. One video I looked at showed how they installed a door just on one unfinished side. So that's what I did here. I just removed one side of drywall, left the other side to save a little bit of time. And then there was one installed just the frame of the pocket door, and actually it was this exact size too. So that one was very helpful as well. So one step at a time, I'll just record and show each step of the way. Could be quick, could be slow. I think the last video I did of gutting the closet that was over here it's been several months since I did the gutting of that closet. So I've got many projects going on in this house at the same time. Countertops will be in about a week. So I'll be doing video of countertop replacement in our kitchen as well as backsplash. So stay tuned, subscribe below to follow along, because a future video I'll be showing finishing all of this. I got flooring to do, like I said. We're going to be doing a new vanity, painting. There's a lot going on in this bathroom. So stay tuned for that. And remember, time is everything. Money is a tool, and we can't afford to waste either one. Last tag.